What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my honor review of the Belle Collective. Let's just get into it. But first, let me say this: Latisha, you're not fooling me. Okay, your plan to make everybody look at Carrie sideways as if she's the one starting drama is hilarious to me. But we're gonna get to that. We start off with Tambra. She is at her parents' house making her parents some tea. She has been living there, helping her father get better, and they don't have a clear understanding as to what happened to him. While they are in the clear that it wasn't a stroke, they don't know what happened to him, but they are seeing signs of dementia. Hearing that, my heart broke for Tambra because I lost my grandfather last year and he had dementia. And while they're seeing it, he's also seeing it. And it's hurting her and it's hurting him that he is starting to change. That has to be the most hurtful thing to recognize and to see, that the person you love is slowly starting to forget who they are, can slowly start to forget you. Latrice comes by to show her support because a lot did happen at Latisha's focus group, so she wants to be there for Tambra and to let her know that I am here for you throughout everything. Now they want to know, how does she feel about this Dr. Juice Cleanse rumors? She said it was ridiculous because Shantae thinks she's telling me things about my relationship, and she said that the people who she knows have never lied to her. Girl, you sure they lied to you this time? And a note to Latisha: anytime I see your best friend, I know she's gonna bring some mess. And it also goes to show you that Latisha don't know Tambra like she thinks she does, and that's what Tambra is feeling. Because how are you preaching about sisterhood, women empowerment like you've been doing, but yet you fall into the same category of trying to bring some mess? Make it make sense. So Tambra thought to create a reintroduction to everybody because these ladies think they know me, but they don't know me. They're trying to do some digging. So let me give them a shovel. So then Latrice gives her an update about her upcoming surgery, and Tambra is aware that Latrice has had fibroids before and had had a surgery to remove them. And while having gone through a couple of fibroid surgeries herself, how does Latrice feel? She is feeling a bit nervous, and she was also asked by her doctor, do she want to get a hysterectomy? Tambra was like, oh girl, no, say no. Latrice said she do eventually want to have a baby someday. I don't know when that's going to happen because I know it's not with Cliff, okay? And Tamara wanted her to make sure she advocates for herself, make sure she speaks up about what it is that she wants. You want to preserve your uterus to prepare yourself into having children, okay? And you will get through this and you will be healthy. I do appreciate Tamara giving her this advice because that's what Tamara went through. She still wanted to have children, so she made sure she voiced her feelings, voiced what she wanted, and that was it. Now, there have been some times where doctors tend to not hear what you want and still take everything out just to make sure it doesn't happen again, and you're left with the inability to have children. So yes, speak up, tell you what you want and tell them what you don't want so they can hear you clearly. So Latrice feels a bit better having this conversation with Tambra about her fibroid surgery because she doesn't have a lot of knowledge about it. And she's very happy that she has a really good friend in Tambra. I love that. Moving on. We now have Latisha and Glen. They're having a spa day. Glen thinks that he's doing, something special by planning this spa day when he is really on some bullshit later on. Saying how he wants to make his wife feel better. He's not really sure what's going on with her. You're what's going on with her. You're the reason why Latisha can't be happy and she can't feel secure and confident in herself because of what you've been doing. So, she's been talking about how her and Carrie have been planning for a double date for months, but has never had the time. Now they have the time. And then we're discussing the rumors that Latisha is just so dumbfounded, so shocked as to why all of this is happening. How are you shocked about the rumors you've been aware of? It's been spreading around the collective, and you wonder, how do we get involved in all this drama? It's because of you. Did you not remember you just sat Tambra down to have her be confronted by Shantae about some information about her relationship that turned out to be some bullshit? Make it make sense. You can't want to be removed from the drama, Latisha, while still creating it. So then he asked about her focus group. She said it went really well. She got good feedback. Lonnie Love said she is great for TV. She has a great voice. Glen gives her the same compliment, how she learned, she always knows how to get people to be comfortable with her. She always sets the tone. He sees a bright future, laying it on thick. While she is feeling that confidence, then we talk about the drama that happened after the focus group presentation, where Selena raises her concern about who initiated and originally spoke about Mike having a baby. And Latisha is sitting there acting so oblivious as to why she doesn't understand why Selena would feel away and why is she mad at me because I didn't tell her, and she's trying to blame me for not telling her. She will be in the right though, Latisha, because you were aware of the rumor and you never told her about it when she asked you for help when her and Mike were having communication issues. So how could you feel a way that she's feeling away when she has every right to feel away? I just don't understand that. And then Glen had talked to Mike about it when he posted the photo, and they laughed about it. They all blew it up like it was nothing. And then Latisha said, we've gone down that road, and I don't want to wish that on anybody. Repeat what you just said. If you've already been through this and you know it doesn't feel good, then why would you set up for somebody else to feel like this? Why would you want to cause doubt in somebody else's relationship? Make that make sense. And then to also say she didn't want to tell her anything until she had actual proof. Are you for real right now? There was no actual proof about Glen fathering a child, but yeah, we went through that entire season. You going over about what could have happened, what might have happened. You know that Glen had stepped out on you before, and you were literally contemplating on figuring out how to raise another man's child that you did not create. And you sat on that reunion stage and waited for paternity results. You making it seem as if it was something that was created just to hurt you when it wasn't created to hurt you. This was a real situation that you had to deal with, and you are now creating that same situation that you were really involved in onto somebody else, and that's not really cool. That makes no sense whatsoever. So the fact is, you don't want to admit that you wanted to wait until it was time to start filming to bring this back up again because you want to talk about somebody else's relationship. You want to create another scandal about somebody else's relationship just so you can have another form of conversation that wasn't about you. Can't do this with this bitch. Fake as fuck. Not a real friend to nobody. Glen wondered if First was at the focus group. She said no. He has decided to take a leave of absence. Glen still wants to push on her about firing him. Don't do it. She made her decision. Respect her decision. That's it. That's all. But it's not enough for Glen because he thinks that she should fire him and hire him as her manager. I laughed. She laughed. What you mean manage me? I manage you. I check your emails. But he don't want to hear that. He wants to talk about how he's always had Latisha's best interest at heart. And okay, so what does a manager do? He couldn't give the definition. And I feel like Glen wants to be so up close under Latisha because he wants to know, what does she do? Who does she see? Who does she talk to? That's what he wants to do. But he wants to make it seem as if I spend time with her, then we can move on to be in a better place. And he thinks that working with your partner is good for business. Not all the time. It is not always good to combine personal into your business. And in your case, it is definitely not a good idea. And you think that being around her 24/7 is going to grant you quality time with her, knowing how she moves every day, all day, you're not going to have that quality time. And Glen, how much free time do you have? I know you don't work over there on Tugboat anymore. You have remained local. You're in an office position. But what are your hours? How are you automatically have such a free time and your schedule is completely open to think you can handle being Tisha's manager? The hell? So it wasn't a good idea. We shouldn't do that. And then when she said no, he had the nerve to look at her and say, every time I try to be nice to you, come with some fuck shit. And every time you cheat, she has to figure out how she should forgive you when you keep doing the same shit. Oh, we're in the same boat. The audacity of this clown to think that because he did this one nice gesture to make her feel special, that she's supposed to be swooned and digmatized, living in the land of milk and cookies, to just accept you being her manager. What? Now you are recognizing that Latisha is not going to be easily swindled and swayed the way you used to have her be whenever you want something out of her. Obviously, she's not budging on the fact that she did not fire first and she is not going to hire you as her manager. This is what typical narcissists do. Whenever they do one nice thing, they automatically believe it absolves them from every wrongdoing that they've done to hurt their partner, because they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be reminded of what it is that they've done. So because I did a very nice thing for you, you should let me off the hook. You should let me have my control again. And that's not working for him. And to say you won't even give me a chance to prove I've had your best interest at heart. How? You've never had her best interest at heart. Listen, Glenn, you couldn't even get the box trucks idea off the ground. You didn't know what to do until Latisha gave you the full entire blueprint on how to get this box truck business off the ground. And that's not what you wanted her to do. You want her to do all the work, make you look good so you can reap the benefits without having the actual work ethic, without actually doing the work to create a business. So you don't know what it takes to be a manager. I can't do this. Moving on. So now we have Selena. She is having lunch with Latisha because Selena still wants answers as to what happened at the focus group and why isn't anybody owning up to who started the rumor. Latisha, once again, is acting oblivious as to how she's involved in it because she don't know how she got involved in it. Well, you revealed you were aware of the rumor when her and Selena, when her and Mike were having communication issues and she asked you for help. Now, Selena is stressed out to the max, okay? She's dealing with her bridal party. Things are not being done. Her bridesmaids aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, Latisha thinks that she is trying to be supportive, but right now she's feeling salty about what is happening with Selena and her bridal party and her wedding. And maybe it's because who she chose to be in her bridal party. And I hope that they pull through. I hope that they come together for her. I hope it all works out. Latisha, let it go. You already said that you and Selena are not close like that, and you were not upset that you did not get invited to be in her bridal party. It sounds like you still are upset, and you're trying to make it seem as if the people who she chose to be in her bridal party are the reasons why things are not working out. There could be a number of reasons as to why it's hard having a huge bridal party and things are not working out well. Okay, it is not because she chose to invite Latrice and Tambra to be her bridesmaid. If you paid attention, Latrice, Tambra, and Selena have a very good relationship. So she has a better relationship with them than you. So stop being salty. Get over it. So Selena says Mike is taking her out to Colombia to get her teeth fixed. So that way she can have a nice set of white pearly teeth for the wedding. And she's getting her teeth done at a really reasonable price. She said 4 of her teeth are a bit flipped. So she's getting porcelain veneers. Okay, good for you. Make sure that is all you get. You don't get nothing else that's going to mess up your already natural smile. Do not come back with horse teeth, okay? While trying to be a listening ear for what Selena has going on, Latisha said, I didn't want to bring this up because you have a lot going on. So I didn't want to bring you down about bringing up this rumor. And then she wants to know if Carrie's going to be accountable as well because you're only holding me accountable. Latisha, accept your part and that's it. Don't always try to share blame, shift blame. Like, you really shifted a whole lot of blame onto Carrie in this entire conversation. I really didn't appreciate it. And just going down the list about how Carrie brought it to the table, when did Carrie get this information, and then Marie got called in it, and how come you never said anything to me? I don't believe Tisha's reasoning that she waited until she had real proof for something to be real. But if you didn't think it was real, you could at least still told her, so she could have been aware. And that's exactly what Selena said. Whether or not you believe it or not, this is about my relationship. You should have at least gave me a heads up. At the same time, Selena, if Mike laughed about it, told you how he felt about it, you shouldn't have given no second thought, right? And then she's going to say that she's going to have Mike handle the guys, and then she's going to handle the girls. Selena, you're not handling nobody, okay? Because you're not being open and upfront about what it is you want to say, because I feel like you're protecting somebody who really needs to be accountable, which is Marie and Latisha. And I don't know why you're protecting them. I don't know why you won't just come out and say, Marie, did you set this up for me to know this was going to come on the show? And were you and Latisha already aware this was going to be talked about on the show? And you're now trying to blame Carrie for it? Like, that's what you need to be doing. But again, Selena, you were already aware of the rumor before it got spread. So why are you still trying to figure out who brought it up when you've been aware of it? Are you being slow right now? What is it? Why you need to get to the bottom of how the rumor got started when you were already aware of the rumor? And this rumor already been in a year in the making. So I'm lost, okay? Because it sounds to me you want to move the goal and put it on Carrie. But if the rumor was already a year in the making where nobody else had heard about it until it was brought into the show, then look at Latisha and Marie. Look at them. They were already having a private conversation about it before the show. And Carrie don't really be in Jackson like that. She's over there on the coast. She has her own shit. What makes you think she is so in tune with all the messes going on that she is so eager to talk about things like this? We saw how nervous she was to bring this up because she didn't want to bring this up. Something is telling me that y'all set it up for Carrie to be at fault for a rumor she did not create. That's what I'm getting. And I really do need somebody to clear this part up because I am so confused about Latisha asking Selena, how does she feel about Carrie kind of backpedaling? How does she backpedal? I don't know about backpedaling. I didn't get backpedaling. I just think that Carrie didn't want this to be a conversation. And she was nervous about it because she don't like entertaining things like this. That's how I felt. And as far as how people are assuming she heard it from Marie, she didn't hear it from Marie. I think she was told that Marie was talking to somebody about it, but not to her. And if Cliff overheard Marie talking about it, which led to him talking to Matt, and then he told Carrie, I believe Carrie's truth of events. I believe her. But I don't know why Selena's feeling type of way about Carrie when Carrie has been here for 2 seconds. She really hasn't done anything. She really hasn't done anything to anybody. And then the Tisha ends up saying that Carrie got spooked into submission. Got spooked by who? So that's when Selena talked about Latrice and Carrie meeting up, where Latrice didn't like that Cliff got involved in it. Listen, I don't give a fuck about how Latrice feels. She can defend it till the cows come home. But your husband overheard some mess and repeated the same mess. Okay, Latrice? You can't still punish Carrie because she went down the grapevine about how she heard the rumor. And your husband was involved in it because he was the one who told her husband. So get over it, Latrice. Get over that. And you can't blame Carrie for that. Blame your own fucking husband for being messy. Anyway, and Latisha, you're supposed to be Carrie's friend. You're supposed to be building a better relationship with her. But now you're presenting as if Carrie is being a troublemaker. Carrie's not standing on business. And if Carrie is trying to be a part of this group, she can't have loyalty based on a lie. I was like, excuse me? Wow, it's really crazy that you're switching up on Carrie so quickly when she has done nothing but try to be there for you, uplift you. She hasn't done anything but tell you the truth that you didn't want to hear. I told you, Carrie. I told you. Latisha is not going to be your friend. She is going to turn on you when it suits her, and this is when she's doing it right now. I hope that you are calling her out at some point because this is so crazy how we're making this a bigger issue than it needs to be. And we're putting all the blame on Carrie. I don't like that. But somebody has to make it make sense. I hope I got this cleared up as much as I could because I was so confused about where the hell was Latisha going with this. But moving on. It is a small scene between her and Damon. They're driving. And just talking about cute moments with London Simone with her grandfather and everything. And then she tells Damon about meeting with Latisha. And her friend Shantae came by. And then she tells me information about our relationship, about how we're not together. We are just very good friends who decided to have a child together. I have had a boyfriend for so many years. And then she saw a picture of a guy. And let me tell you something. You will never believe who was in that picture. He said who? Mr. Juice Clents. He was like, Malone? Yeah. Oh, are you for real? I'm so for real. Like, how do you come up with this? It sounds to me you pull this out of a sky that's not even real. And I have to agree. And then Damon said, he trusts her. And he knows the guy she's doing business with. They've known him for a very long time. He's a cool guy. Known him for being a very cool person. Ain't nothing to feel away about him. So that's when Tambra tells him about this putting this little get together for them to recognize who she is, right? Because I feel like some of these ladies don't really know me. And let me clarify, it's really just two people, okay? It's Latisha and Marie who act like they know me, but they don't really know me. So a little sip and see to see these ladies, let them know who she is, and it's an opportunity for them to probably meet her daughter. Now, we know that some of the ladies have not fully met her daughter with good reason. And Damon said, listen, I don't want no bad energy around my baby. I'm cool with the guys, but these women, it'd be some BS, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at that because this was a very special moment between the two of them. They have always talked about having children. And now that they have their daughter, they don't want none of that shit. And they've already been through too much shit with being a part of this group. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fault them at all for being protective and being cautious of who they want to introduce their daughter to. Moving on, we have Marie. Now, Marie is having a scene at a basketball court with her oldest son, Jerez. We ain't seen Jerez for a long time now. And then, we got flashbacks about how her and son have had a back and forth in their relationship. The last time things got really bad, he got aggressive with her and he almost hit her, but he hit a wall. And then they're moving on to a better place. He lives with her as well as two of his children. I was like, okay, that's cool. Do they still have an arrangement with their mother? Do they spend time with their mother, or are they still living with you? And I just want to know, what has Jerez been up to? We ain't seen him. We don't know if he is in college. Did he go back to college? Is he now in the workforce? Like, what is he doing? So then he talks about how he wanted to open up a dispensary and he wants to know her input. She said, okay, well, to open a business like that, you need money. Where is it coming from? Where is the capital coming from? So she pretty much tells him that I wanted you to learn from my business because I created this for you guys to have an inheritance from. And it can help you learn how to manage a business, and then you can use what you learned from my business to start your own business. And he is appreciative that he's not going to knock down any opportunity to get to know how she ran her business, because she did talk about opening up her 9th location. Good for her. And that while she did set her kids up to learn the ropes of her business, she is very happy that her son wants to create his own legacy and not be solely dependent on hers. Fine, cool, moving on. So then we have a double date with Carrie and Matt at the bowling alley. They're looking to have a fun time, away from all the drama that Latisha has started up. Glen thinks he can redeem himself from that horrible loss he suffered from Matt when Matt smoked him on the basketball court, and Matt smoked him on the bowling alley as well. And Matt smoked him in bowling as well. So while the men continue to bowl, Latisha and Carrie have a private conversation about what happened at the focus group. And Carrie told Tisha, you were the one who sent Shantae to Tambra. You said you were trying to work on your relationship and you believe you had good intentions, but this wasn't the best way to do it. Now, Latisha don't want to accept accountability. Excuse me, that she did not handle things the right way in regards to setting up that conversation with Tambra. But it's the truth though, Latisha. You didn't set things the right way. That wasn't the right way for you to have a civil one-on-one conversation with Tambra to see if she is going to continue to open up to you, and you bring Shantae there, tell her about her relationship, tell her about the streets, talking about how her and Damon are not really together. Like, no, you sent your dude girl to do your bidding, to be messy. Keep it a buck. And then as far as not recognizing how she could have push the distance further between her and Tambra, she ends up saying that it's better than to ask for permission than forgiveness, or it's better than to ask for forgiveness than permission. She said something along those lines, but that backwards logic is fucking dumb. Like, Latisha, whatever backwards logic you are trying to convince yourself makes any sense, it don't make any sense whatsoever, because however you slice it, this is just you trying to absolve accountability and responsibility and honesty, that you wanted to set things up to hurt Tambra. You wanted to set things up to get back at her, which I don't understand why. And this is the reason why Tambra doesn't feel the space and the actual trust to be vulnerable, to be transparent when you do underhanded shit like this. And you try to do underhanded shit and cover it up with, I want to be honest. I want to take her to the source. I want to be real and transparent. No, the fuck you don't. You want to be mean. You want to be vindictive. You want to be evil. That's what you want to be, okay? And I don't know why you can't have a real conversation with somebody and deliver the news as a friend and not have nobody else do it for you, where it's looking like you're being messy without you admitting you're trying to be messy. And Latisha got so defensive in her confessional, talking about Carrie should not tell me what I'm going to do, what I'm not going to do, because I'm going to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. Okay, Latisha. So if the next time somebody just blasts information about your relationship, don't expect for anybody to give you any sympathy. Don't expect for anybody to give you grace. Don't expect for somebody to give you a one-on-one like you wanted them to soften the blow about what it is that's going to be revealed because you don't want to be embarrassed. Don't expect that. Do not. Nobody's going to care how this makes you feel. Nobody's going to care about how this is affecting your relationship. Nobody's going to give a fuck. Because if you're not going to care about them, why the fuck should they care about you? And again, hold up. Where's all this vibrato you have with Selena about how you're going to tell Carrie how she should operate about being in this group and how she should stand on business? Where is that energy at? Because you could have told Carrie about it, but you didn't. And Carrie told you the truth and you couldn't handle it. Okay. So then Glenn wants to understand how Carrie and Matt have this great dynamic about working together. Like, how do they work together so well while navigating a lot of businesses? Well, it's how they operate, is how they're able to come together. So he wants to manage Latisha. Both Carrie and Matt was like, that's not a good idea. And what is your skill set? What do you bring to the table? So his reasoning was he wants to spend more time with her. Well, that's something that you should have explained differently because she can't know you want to use this woman as a way to communicate with her and spend more time together with her when you're not showing up in that way. And Latisha really didn't understand how Glenn was trying to go about being her manager. If all you wanted was spend more time with me, you could have just said that. But being my manager is not the answer I was thinking about. While Latisha is feeling excited that Glenn wants to be part of her brand and be part of her growth, she knows this needs to be separate. My brand and my marriage cannot come together, and I agree. Keep that separate. So on that note, couples night went well. They want to have more couples night. But for me, I'm going to say it like I said it before, Latisha, you are being fake as fuck for not keeping a bug with Carrie, that you threw her under the bus and acted like she was the main person who brought up the rumor and that she's backpedaling and lying. Thinking it's trying to solidify her place in this group by lying to protect somebody. Who she's protecting? And I feel like Carrie isn't the issue. I think y'all want to make her the issue because y'all want to now paint her as somebody who can't be trusted. But what has she done to show that untrustworthiness? Nothing. Nothing. I need to understand something. So then we have Tambra. Tambra is using her reintroduction sippancy at the Smith Robinson Museum. And we also found the history of the Smith Robinson Museum. It is the first African American school for children in the city of Jackson. I love that sense of history. So everybody arrives. They want to know, what has Tambra got up her sleeve? Her assistant opens the curtains, and it is a museum of Tambra. All of the important parts of how Tambra became the girl that she is, okay? And we see the first picture of her parents. They were married for 57 years. They are her family goals. Okay, that's what she strives to have. And then we see a baby photo of her in a crib. And then she tells the story of that photo. Her leg was broken. And her mom had picked her up from daycare and had discovered that her leg was broken. So that is also the reason why she's been very hesitant on sending her daughter to daycare, because of what she experienced. I completely understand what Tamra's talking about. I understood the first time when she was hesitant on sending London Simone into a daycare facility, because there have been too many stories about how kids have been treated unfairly, have been hurt and harmed at certain daycare centers. So you keep your kid protected where you don't trust anybody to watch them. And I know that it took some time for her to get comfortable based on what she was told, what happened to her. And I understand that wholeheartedly. So then Tambra shows us her cheerleading outfit, where she started in middle school. She was a captain of the cheerleaders, hence why she has a very, very loud voice. Okay, she's like a megaphone. How she projects and how she's been cheering for people her whole entire life. Then we saw a hospital photo of her fibroids being taken out. And she has been dealing with fibroids since she was in her 20s. And she had about 39 fibroids removed. Now, she was thankful that she had frozen her embryos ahead of time. So she understands what Latrice is going through and hoping the best comes out for her. So make sure you prepare for whatever is going to occur after this surgery. Then we talk about her being pregnant with London Simone, and that was hard. When she delivered her, she didn't even get a chance to hold her when she came out. She was sent in the NICU, and she was in the ICU. So that photo of her was the first time she actually saw her daughter live and in color, because she was separated from her from the time that she delivered her, which I know that must have been stressful, filled with anxiety that you couldn't even hold your baby after you've given birth. I know. And that's also why she was so hesitant on people meeting her daughter, because she wanted to have her child be with her for a moment, protect her peace, protect her child. And since she didn't have that instinct of already holding her when she was born, she wants to make up for that time, which I completely understand. And I wonder, why was she in the NICU? So the grand finale of her biggest accomplishment is her daughter. So London Simone pulls in with her little pink Maserati. She got her glasses on, Teflon bag, cutest thing, okay? And the way that London Simone took off her glasses and looked down at them ladies and was like, "Is this over? I don't have time for this. No, 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 no. I don't have time for this. I have other things going on than to be dealing with these heifers. So let me go ahead and drive out. I don't have time for this." And I love it, okay? She gave attitude to who needed to have attitude, okay? Now, they're very happy to have met her daughter. Marie was wondering when she was going to finally meet her daughter. And what we should have known in years, we learned overnight. And this is what a sisterhood is really about. But I feel like if y'all would have taken the time to give Tambra that proper space and support, she would have been more open. She would have been more transparent. But y'all wasn't giving her that time. Jamal left to go to work. I think that he needed to leave anyway because she didn't want him involved in this mess. So the ladies sit around. She is super happy that this night has gone so well. But we need to talk about this rumor, okay? Now, Shantae's saying that she got this rumor from a reliable source. She needs to slap her source, okay? And while that rumor was being presented, she wants to make sure that Shantae didn't have the satisfaction of keep on bringing up that rumor. So they went to Mr. Juice Cleanse. They had a meetup with him to talk about the rumor. And he was like, "What? I mean, listen, Jackson is very small, okay? There's always rumors. We gotta not let it get to us." So now it's been put to bed. There's never been anything going on between her and this Mr. Juice guy. I mean, the setup wasn't necessary, but I honestly understand why, because she's not about to play on her relationship, play on her reputation about what it is going on, okay? I get that part. Now, I feel like Tambra has to make so many moves in order to showcase, I'm not playing with nobody. I think that they put something in Tambra's ear for her to show something. As well as Tambra deserves to be a part of this show, we know she hasn't shown much about her life, right? So she feels like y'all gonna have to operate on the time I need to operate on. If I'm not ready, I'm not ready. But what needs to be said is, I'm not the type to play with. Don't ever play on my name. Don't ever play on what I don't bring, all right? So now the guys are in another room talking about what took place. Glenn is talking about how he needs to try to persuade Latisha to accept him being her manager. And him and Cliff were like, maybe it's the way you worded it. Maybe manager is too strong of a word. Maybe contribute. That's a better word. So now he's hearing from the guy's perspective that maybe the way he went about it wasn't working, and that's why he hasn't been receiving any good feedback on how he's been trying to be there for Latisha. Okay, well, change your tactics. Okay, support her like she's been telling this entire time. Just be her husband, be her support system. That's it. Now, we talk about Marie. Marie opens about meeting her bonus daughter, Amber, that Tisha knows, and that Amber told Marie that she needs to get off these dating apps, okay? The dating apps are not good for you. We have to figure out another way for you to meet good men. Carrie said that her and Matt are matchmakers. They have matched with a lot of their friends. They do very good together. And then they want to now create an event for Marie to meet guys. But before we can introduce her to a whole bunch of men, what is her preference? Let's see her preference. And I think it was a question about whether or not she wants a woman. And then Tambra want to say, I'll have you know, I know somebody that's dating a man and a woman right now. Who is that person, Tambra? So then Marie gave us some history. That when she was 18 years old, she had a threesome, but apparently her and the girl did not have sex, but she did get ate out. And they were like, oh, really, Marie? Who was the girl that ate you out? Who was she, Marie? I want to know. And from that experience when you were 18, do you have any residual feelings about wanting to explore women more in that way? She said, no, I don't want to explore that with a woman. I want a man to do that to me. And she doesn't regret her experience, but that wasn't what she wanted. She tried it, didn't like it. If that's it, that's all. Glenn was like, living your truth, Marie. I was like, living your truth, Marie. What's happening here? Okay. So the night is ending, everybody leaves, and then we see Cliff, Latrice, Glen and Latisha have a small talk. And it's very awkward because they're trying to move forward. They're trying to get back into the swing of things where they all hung out, had nice conversations. And then we just get into Glen and Latisha's business about how she ain't giving him no cootie. I don't believe that. I don't think she locked it down that much. I don't think she did a clink clink on it. No, I think she's been giving it up to him whenever she feels like it. And then Cliff want to talk about creating a date night for them where they all hang out with their wives, another double date. Cool. Let it be how it used to be. Let's keep on moving forward. Let's start fresh. That's it. That's all. And that was the end of the episode. I mean, the episode wasn't bad. It was cool. Learning about Tambra. I like that we learned that about Tambra. And I feel like Tambra needs to show up a little bit more. Because I understand why she wants to protect her peace. I really do. But I also feel like it's kind of hard to when you only want to get mess. I need for more. This show should not be centered around mess. We should see the elevation of a group of black women who are entrepreneurs creating a space where we can all come together and support one another. Where is that? Where is the Belle Collective? Okay? And I think I heard that the Belle Collective is going to come up to a break at some point because we do have a new show, Belle Collective Birmingham, with Stormy from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I will be reviewing. And that's going to take over Friday nights until Belle Collective comes back. So I don't know how many episodes we have left until the break. So I'm excited for Belle Collective Birmingham. And also, RHOA did return this past Sunday. You guys will be getting a review from me soon. And that's all I have. So please stay tuned for the next video. I'm see you guys later. Bye.